If you've ever looked yourself in the mirror and felt that quiet disgust, not because you're a bad person, but because you keep making promises you don't keep, then you already understand the real pain. It isn't failure. It's the feeling that you can't trust you. In the next 7 days, you're going to rebuild that trust, not with motivation, with a method. You don't need a new personality. You don't need a perfect morning routine. You don't need to want it more. You need a system that works even when you don't feel like it, because the truth is, discipline isn't a personality trait. It's a set of decisions you practice until they become automatic. And I know what you're thinking. I've tried. You've tried the planners, the apps, the hype videos, the fresh starts on Mondays. You've tried to brute force your way through a week, and then you crash. And the crash feels worse than the original problem, because now you're not just tired, you're disappointed in yourself. So let's do this differently. The Japanese have a concept called Kaizen. It means continuous improvement, but more importantly, it means you don't gamble your future on one heroic burst of willpower. You improve in small strategic steps every day until your identity shifts. That's what this is. 7 days, Kaizen style. Not to become perfect, to become unbreakable. Here's the real problem. You're living with a discipline leak. You don't notice it because it looks normal. It looks like hitting snooze just once. It looks like scrolling for 5 minutes. It looks like starting your workday by checking messages. It looks like bargaining with yourself. I'll do it later. But those leaks add up, and they don't just steal time. They steal authority. Because every time you say, I'll do it, and you don't, your mind learns something. It learns that your word doesn't matter. And once your mind believes your word doesn't matter, it stops responding to you. You become a manager nobody respects. Inside your own head, let that sink in. This is why discipline feels so heavy. You're not just trying to do the task. You're trying to do the task while dragging the weight of your own broken promises. And here's a shocking statistic that should make you sit up. Researchers estimate the average person touches their phone over 2,600 times a day. Think about that for a moment. That's not a distraction problem. That's a training program. You are being trained thousands of times into impulsivity, into impatience, into immediate relief. So if you've been wondering why you can't stick to your plans, it's not that you're weak, it's that your environment is winning. In 7 days, we flip that. We build a discipline system that doesn't rely on feeling ready. It relies on structure. It relies on friction. It relies on a simple rule. You don't negotiate with the version of you that wants comfort. I'm Daiki, and I wasn't always this person. I used to be the guy who had potential, the way people describe a building that never gets finished. I'd get inspired, go hard for a few days, then disappear into excuses. I didn't need another pep talk. I needed a way to become someone who follows through, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when nobody is watching. So here is the 7-day Japanese method. Simple, clean, unforgiving in the best way. Each day has one primary mission. You will do it even if it's messy, especially if it's messy, because discipline is not elegance. Discipline is obedience to your own decision. Day 1 is called the reset of honor. Today, you stop trying to do everything. You choose one promise one, and you keep it no matter what. Small enough that you can't lie to yourself, but meaningful enough that it matters. Maybe it's 10 minutes of exercise. Maybe it's writing 1 paragraph. Maybe it's studying 20 minutes. Maybe it's cleaning 1 area. You pick the smallest unit that still feels like a real vote for the person you want to become. Then, you do something most people never do. You remove the option to renegotiate. You decide the time and place. You attach it to an existing trigger. After you brush your teeth, you do the 10 minutes. After you make coffee, you read. After you come home, you train. And then you make it official in your mind. This is not a preference. This is not if I feel like it. This is your word. At the end of day 1, you do one more thing. You write a single sentence somewhere you'll see it. I keep promises to myself. Not because it's cute, because you're starting a new contract. Day 2 is the friction day. Discipline isn't created by willpower. It's created by making bad choices harder and good choices easier. The Japanese understand this in their factories, their crafts, their training halls. They design systems that reduce error. You're going to design your life the same way. Today, you add friction to your biggest discipline killer. If your phone is your downfall, you don't just try to use it less. You change the battlefield. You put it in another room during your focus block. You log out of the apps. You remove the shortcuts. You make the easy path annoying. If junk food is your downfall, you don't layer on restraint. You don't keep it within reach. You stop pretending you're stronger than proximity. If procrastination is your downfall, you don't wait for motivation. You make starting stupidly easy. You open the document the night before. You lay out the gym clothes. You set the book on the pillow. You reduce the distance between you and the first action. Your goal today is simple. Engineer your environment so discipline becomes the default. Day 3 is the 2-step day. This is where you become dangerous because you learn how to move even when resistance hits. Today, every time you don't want to do the task, you will do 2 steps anyway. Not the whole thing. 2 steps. If it's exercise, you put on your shoes and do the first set. If it's studying, you sit down and read the first page. If it's work, you write the first sentence. 2 steps. Here's what happens. The mind hates starting. It romanticizes comfort and exaggerates effort. But once you start, the story changes. Momentum appears. The task stops being a monster and becomes a sequence. And if momentum doesn't appear, you still win because you kept the contract. You moved forward when you didn't feel like it. That's discipline. Day 4 is the identity day. This is the day you stop saying, I'm trying, and start saying, I am, not in a fake, positive thinking way, in a behavioral way. Today, before your discipline action, you say one sentence out loud. I am the kind of person who does this. Then you do it. You might feel ridiculous. Good. That means your old identity is fighting back. Your identity isn't your thoughts, it's your pattern. And patterns change when you repeat a behavior with meaning attached. In Japan, there's a respect for the role you embody. The craftsman, the student, the warrior, the caretaker. It's not about ego. It's about duty. You are stepping into a role. You are becoming someone who shows up. Day 5 is the clean-cut day. Today you will eliminate one thing. 1, not 10. Not a dramatic life overhaul. One cut that frees energy. It could be one recurring habit, late-night scrolling. It could be one optional commitment, something you say yes to out of guilt. It could be one form of clutter, a messy corner that drains you every time you see it. You cut it cleanly. You don't reduce. You don't try. You remove it for the remaining days. Why? Because discipline is not just doing more. It's doing less of what weakens you. The disciplined person isn't the one with the most intensity. It's the one with the least self-sabotage. Day 6 is the pressure day. Most people practice discipline only when life is easy. That's not discipline. That's convenience. Today you add controlled pressure. You choose a slightly harder version of your habit. Slightly, not reckless. If you've been doing 10 minutes, do 15. If you've been reading 5 pages, read 8. If you've been working in silence, do it with a timer and a clear deliverable. And here's the rule. You do it even if it's not perfect, because pressure reveals who you really are. And when you survive pressure, something in you changes. You stop fearing discomfort. You stop treating resistance like a stop sign. You start treating it like proof you're on the right path. Day 7 is the seal day. Today you lock it in. You make your discipline unbreakable by making it repeatable. You will design your minimum standard, going forward the version of your habit that you can do on your worst day. Not your best day, your worst day. Because the secret to unbreakable discipline isn't going hard. It's staying consistent. Your minimum standard might be 5 minutes of movement, 1 paragraph, 10 flashcards, 1 tidy surface, a single walk around the block. Then you create a simple rule: no 0 days. You can do more when you can, but you never do nothing, because nothing is where the identity collapses. Nothing is where the identity collapses. Nothing is where the mind learns you don't mean what you say. Now let's talk about application, how you actually run this in real life without collapsing. Every day this week, you will have one sacred action. One, not 7 habits. One discipline anchor. You do it first if possible, or you do it at a fixed time, but you do it consistently. Then you track it in the simplest way possible. A calendar with an X, a note with 7 checkboxes. Something physical is best, because every time you mark it, you're not tracking productivity. You're tracking integrity. And when the day goes wrong, and it will, you do not try to make up for it with a massive session. That's how people get injured, burned out, and emotional. Instead, you return to the minimum standard. This is where most people mess up. So let's name the mistakes before they happen. Mistake 1. You try to win the week on day 1. You go too hard, you overpromise, and then you break the contract. Keep it small. Keep it sacred. Mistake 2. You negotiate in the moment. You start talking to yourself like a lawyer finding loopholes. I'm tired. I had a stressful day. I'll do double tomorrow. No, you decided earlier. The decision is already made. You are simply executing. Mistake 3. You wait to feel like it. That's the old you. The new you moves first, feeling second. Mistake 4. You punish yourself when you slip. Punishment feels intense, but it's unstable. What you need is correction. Clean, immediate, calm correction. You return to the rule. You keep the promise. You move on. Mistake 5. You hide from the truth. You say, I'm busy, when you mean, I'm avoiding discomfort. You say, I don't have time, when you mean, I'm choosing something else. If you want discipline, speak honestly to yourself, not cruelly, honestly. Now here's your 7-day challenge, and I want you to take it seriously. Right after this video, choose your one discipline anchor. Write it down in one sentence. Choose the exact time you will do it tomorrow. Then, do the day 1 reset of honor. Make one promise and keep it. And tonight, before you sleep, do something that will make future you stronger. Set up the environment. Put the shoes by the door. Put the book on the desk. Put the phone away from the bed. Add friction to the weak path and remove friction from the strong path. You're not trying to become a superhero in 7 days. You're becoming someone who can be trusted. That's unbreakable discipline, not intensity, reliability. So here's the specific action step. Open your calendar right now and mark the next 7 days. On day 1, you will earn the first X by completing your one sacred action, no matter what. Then you will earn the next, and the next 7 days, a chain. And one more thing, I want to hear from you. What is the one discipline anchor you're choosing for the next 7 days, and what time will you do it tomorrow?